Hi, everybody. In this course, this portion of the ABC2 Accelerated Broadcast Club curriculum, we're going to go over graphic design. I know some of you out there have to be interested in using Adobe After Effects, creating pretty graphics and beautiful animations, and we're going to go over that in this video. So first of all, a lower third. It's the most popular graphic used in video production, and the reason why is because it takes a third of the screen, and we'll look at this in a little bit more detail. And it allows you to show information in a way that overlays on top of your main camera feed generally. So we'll look at Adobe Photoshop in a little bit more detail, and I'll show you how to use that tool in this video today. And we're going to create a lower third. So that lower third will be a piece of media. It'll be a PNG file that we will save onto our computer, and then we will upload it into our video production software and use it. So that'll be fun. Photoshop has a toolbar on the left, so we'll take a look at that. We're going to use the eraser tool. We're going to use the shape tool, and we're going to use the gradient tool to create this blue lower third. We'll have a look at the main layers area, and we're going to actually apply a layer effect, which will be cool as well. So we're going to do all of that in this video. So I'm excited to do that. So when we start a new Photoshop document, which we'll do in a moment here, we need to think about what is the size of our video production's canvas, our space. Is our production being done in 720p, which has a aspect ratio of 1280 by 720? Or is it being done in full HD, 1920 by 1080, or some people call it for short 1080p? You can see here that we have that. That's what we're going to select for this presentation. Maybe it's being done in 4K. I don't know. You need to think about that. We need to know what our broadcast is set to before we start designing graphics for it so that everything is in the right aspect ratio and we have a good resolution. So once we do that, we will go into Photoshop and we're going to use all the tools there that are going to show us how to use it. Then finally, we'll put this file into, I'm going to put it into OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, and maybe we'll pop it in to vMix as well and show you kind of a look of how it works and set it all up. Okay? So let's get into it. I'm going to open up Photoshop right now, and I'm going to start a new file. So I hit new, and one of the things you'll notice here is I've already got it set for 1920 by 1080, but I wanted to show you guys that you can actually set all of these film and video presets. So, there's only so many out there. So here's 1080, here's 720, and you can see it just automatically sets it up for us. So I'm going to do 1080 here, but there's actually 25 of these. We can choose 4K, for example, so you don't have to remember the actual individual pixel sizes. You can just choose one that you're interested in. And we're going to do 1920 by 1080 at 72 pixels per inch, which is a good amount for a production. You can do more, but I don't think you really have to for film. That's why we have these presets here. So we're going to do 1920 by 1080, and look at that. We're already set up with the exactly right area here. And over here on this side, we can see the layers area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the layers area and get rid of that lock button there so it's unlocked. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eraser tool. You can use shortcut E to open it up. And up here at the top bar, I'm going to make it a little bigger. It's only 3 pixels right now. I'm going to make it real big. If I have it small, I can just erase a little bit. But I want to make it real big and erase the whole thing. So I have a transparent blank area there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the shape tool here, and I'm going to choose a rectangle, and I'm going to draw it on the lower third area there. Boom. Now, up here at the top, this is where we can choose the different areas of options here, and I don't want a stroke. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the stroke. I think that's right here. Stroke is gone. And the fill, I'm going to do a nice color of blue. Okay, so now I've got my blue shape here, and that's my overlay. Now we could just simply save this, and that would be our lower third. It's definitely possible. We could put another piece of media on here, which might be fun. Why don't we go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put our logo on here just to show you how that works. Here's the logo. And just drag it boom, drop it right on there. Look at that, it actually fits pretty well right there. So you can drag and drop, you can build things, and then we have these layers over here where we can really just keep going to our heart's content. I could make it even a little opaque so it's on the side. I'm going to leave it fully done there. And now the last thing I'm going to do, it's a little bit advanced, is I'm going to hit this add layer mask. And I'm going to go over to the paint bucket and I'm going to choose the gradient tool and I'm going to add a gradient layer. Oh, not that way. I actually want to do it the other way, don't I? Look at that, just to give it a nice little gradient on the side. So it's a little bit more just pleasing to the eye. We're going to go ahead and hit File, Save As, and we are going to save a PNG file in our broadcast club. And I'm going to put this in our downloadable course files, by the way, actually course material here. And you're going to be able to download and get all of this. So here we are with our graphic designs here. And I'm going to save this lower third as a PSD, lower third. So I saved it as a PSD, so you'll have access to this file, but I also want to save it as a PNG, which is transparent. That's important. For our setup, we do want to have a transparent file. So lower third, boom, save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Broadcaster Software, and I'm going to add one camera. I'm going to add an NDI camera here if I can. Let's see what I have. I guess I could add this one here. Now there's a camera source. I don't really need the camera source. I think that camera's off, so I don't need to worry about that one. But what I'm going to do is add a media source, and we'll call this lower third. Okay. Going to browse for it. And now we'll go up to Broadcast Club. It's not the downloadable material. It's the course materials, graphic design. Not the graphic design. This is the... I thought it was in the graphic design. Oh, okay. So I chose, it's not a media file. It is a image. You got to make sure that you choose the right type or it won't find it when you navigate to the folder. There we go. Lower third, blue. All right. Let's browse to it here. And there it is. Boom. There's our lower third. Pretty cool. Now, one of the things that you might be thinking is there's no text on that lower third. What's the point of it? Well, I like to make it without text. Now, we could go into Photoshop and we could add the text here. And we could say, you know, let's see here. Let's just add some text up here. We'll just say Paul Richards. And I'll take the text tool and I'll make it nice and big. And maybe that would be my lower third. Paul Richards, Chief Streaming Officer, right? Could do that. I'll take that, make that white, and maybe make that the title just a little smaller. But I didn't do that on purpose because I'd rather do the text inside of my video production software. So I'd rather go in here and add the text, Paul Richards, Chief Streaming Officer, because it might change every day, right? It could change each day during our show, and I want it to be able to be dynamic. So now I can go ahead in here, I can drag this, make it bigger, and put it right there. And now as I need to, I can add this. Let's see, make it a little, push it down a little more so it fits. There we go. And now I can change it dynamically. So we just made our first graphic design for our live stream. So we put it into OBS, and there you go. We did a little bit of custom graphic design in this tutorial. Our next video will be video animation. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to use Adobe After Effects for that. So stick around. That's going to be our next video.